Welcome to this talk about accommodation claims given by me, Harry Trusted. I'm a barrister at 2 Temple Gardens, and this is given in association with MBL. The purpose of the talk is to introduce you to claims for people who've had tort injuries who need either to adapt an existing house or move to a different property. So, who can bring an accommodation claim? Well, the claimant has to show that the injuries sustained because of the tort mean that they need adapted accommodation in order to be put into the condition that they would have been in but for the accident. Now, that's a bit of an artificial test, as we all know. But what it means is you've got to have the kind of injury which means that there's a need for something to change in terms of your living accommodation. So the people we would expect to bring claims like that are wheelchair users. And of course, you can be a wheelchair user for a lot of different reasons, often a spinal injury or a brain injury, perhaps a severe limb injury. Amputees may have accommodation claims, particularly if they can't use prosthetics. People who need live-in care, because it's unlikely that a carer's suite is going to be possible in an ordinary house. A wet room is an accommodation claim where someone has to have a specially adapted bathroom. Lastly, anyone who needs other modifications, such as special adaptations to the kitchen or the garage or the garden. Those are usually more straightforward and smaller scale claims. The basic principle of law is that medical evidence is required to support a claim for specialist accommodation. And the case on that is Cunningham and Harrison, 1973 QB 942. That is especially so if the need is not immediately obvious. For example, a claimant who can manage stairs but only with difficulty and at risk of falling, or someone with poor sight, which means that they need a lot of alteration to their home to be safe. That is, in a sense, a more medically complex issue than someone who is entirely blind. Remember that the claimant only recovers damages for needs arising because of the tort. Any pre-existing issues, which means that the claimant may have needed to move house anyway, or would have had specialist needs in a bathroom or a kitchen, are not going to be part of the case.